Well, we actually just bought the house in March of this year, and so we were actually decorating that day, and I noticed the backyard looked orange, and so I went outside and I thought, what's going on? And the smoke plume had covered my yard from north to south, just totally covered my yard. And a couple hours, actually I think we were here about 3 hours, and debris was actually falling. And so I started to pack and think, well, this could go bad or go wrong really quickly. So actually what made me start putting things in the van was when I caught a whole burnt leaf in my hand, and I thought, well, that's pretty close. So we just left, and just as they were evacuating us, we left, and we were actually gone for 2 weeks. But I had a sense of peace about the whole thing that others may not have had, you know, but God really gave me that peace that passes all understanding, because I had 3 hours to prepare, and I didn't even have my cars full, because I was sorting through things of what do I really need, and the possessions, it didn't matter. It didn't matter.
I called, and then I went outside, and it was, you could smell the smoke, you could see it, and then I could see that the smoke was blowing directly overhead. So I went inside and to see if I could find any news on it, and there wasn't at that time. So I checked the wind speed on the weatherunderground.com, and came outside with my iPhone, which has a compass, and from the wind direction, speed, and the compass pointing to the fire, I could tell it was coming right at us. So I called my neighbor back and said, well, you might want to get a few of your important things together, and because I think it's coming this way and it looks pretty close. And I called Ginger and tell her to get home as soon as she can.
And then I saw a few neighbors out, and I stopped at somebody's one of our neighbors' house, and I said, do you guys know what's going on? And someone said, I think we're about to get evacuated. So I got home. As soon as I got home with the groceries, we put groceries up. I mean, the cops were here right away. I mean, I think it was in even 5-10 minutes, and the cops were here already saying, you guys need to evacuate now.
It was, you know, it was like...
You don't believe that. You're thinking you're going to lose your house. You know that you're having to evacuate. I was on the phone with my mom, and I was like, Mom, our house is going to burn. Our house is going to burn. And she's like, what are you talking about? They had no idea what was going on. Here we are calling our friends, our family, and no one knew what was going on in our neighborhood.
Yeah, it burned down the back of our yard. In hindsight, what we would do is we'd keep our brush cleared out between our fence lines. That's where it burned, was along our fence line, where neither us or the neighbors behind us bothered to clear out any of the brush. So it followed that, and if the firemen hadn't been here, because I found one of my ponds pumped out. I have 2 ponds back here. They pumped out the pond in order to fight the fire that was creeping into my yard and all of our yards. So they kept. That's what allowed the fire to travel, and it would have come to the house if they hadn't have been there.
So I grabbed my kids and a few things that couldn't be replaced, pictures and a couple of grandma's things and things of that nature, and we just left and just waited to see what was happening. And we were more curious than we were concerned about the house itself, because I really expected to come back to a pile of ashes.
We were already saying goodbye to our home, you know, and mentally believing our home didn't exist.
I think our block rocks. We're pretty close. I mean, I think it really has brought a lot of us together a lot more.
We had a block party.
Yeah, we had a block party.
We had a survivor party right there at the end of right there. We gathered everything together. We brought out potluck style all of our food, and all the houses here got together, and we had dinner together and barbecue, and
that was good.
And Jay cooked fish. And
what were you celebrating?
Just the fact that we still all had our homes, that we were able to come back.
And we were continually mindful, and it came up in conversation a lot of how much we appreciated the efforts of the law enforcement and especially the firefighters who saved our homes.
It was just amazing at how we've recovered in the short period of time. And what's even more amazing is how a week and a half later, you couldn't even tell my yard was totally black. The grass had come back. So just the healing from the earth and the people and everything, and ongoing healing. We're dealing now with the people who have lost their homes, complete burnouts. Remington Forest, a lot of those residents there who lost everything. We've had furniture companies donate truckloads of mattresses. We had to set up a special donation account for financial donations that are coming from all over the country, and that has been phenomenal. And we're begging the people to come get everything that's been given. So it's been a good thing all the way around. The outpouring of support and the generosity of others from outside of our community too.